Well, it's not a good evening for the United fans all over the world because I was even planning to record what we call the match preview about Man United and Chelsea. But guess what? Martinez and Lindelof out for weeks, confirmed by the Man United website like an hour ago. And I'm here to bring you the story that is really making rounds all over social media. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're really watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Raphael Varane, there is an injury boost for Raphael Varane, and at least you would really understand what the situation that we've been in, because even Raphael Varane played 45 minutes and was taken off as we're playing against Brentford, which looks like it was a precaution, and we are happy to see to it that we have some good news for Raphael Varane, and really not okay with the news that I was going to hit to make rounds about the central defenders that I've going to hit to pull out of this game of Man United as we prepare to take on Chelsea. Ramadan Kareem to the Muslims, and we thank all the people that are going to hit obviously subscribe, continue to subscribe such that we hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of today. Now, the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and let's continue doing the required input. Now, official Man United centre-backs Lindelof and Lisandro Martinez will be out of action for at least a month due to muscle injuries. So the Sweden captain, that is Lindelof, was withdrawn during the first half of the last Saturday's Premier League game against Brentford with a hamstring problem. Victor Lindelof was replaced by Lisandro Martinez after 69 minutes as the Argentina international made his first appearance since early February. Unfortunately, Lisandro Martinez has now sustained a calf strain in training and is unavailable for the next few games. Man United have 9 league fixtures left to play this season, beginning with Chelsea away on Thursday, as well as the Emirates FA Cup final against Coventry. Now, this is where soon is going to have to get ugly. If at all you cannot really come out and really like your team to be playing like this, and obviously you feel like you are going to really have results, because amidst us drawing away at Brentford, I was like, all right, we can gain some bit of momentum in the central defense with Lisandro Martinez returning. And I was also shocked that Varane went off injured, and I was like, we had the chance to obviously have some games as Lisandro Martinez partners with Raphael Varane in the central defense, but to come to our notice, it's something that is not gonna really happen, because Lindelof and Lisandro Martinez are really out for at least a month due to injuries, meaning that the entire month of April they're going to be away, and they will only come to play, I think, in the last 2 games of the season. That is it. Maybe if at all go to the FA Cup final, they'll come up and really show up. But this is very, very ugly for the club of Man United. Let's first talk about Lisandro Martinez in particular, because for Lisandro Martinez, this season has been really bad for him. After getting a setback of a metatarsal injury, he returned in January. He played like 3-4 games. That is Lisandro Martinez. He returned when you're playing against Tottenham Hotspur. He played like 30 minutes. Then he later went ahead to really play against, I think, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Is it Aston Villa? And then he played against West Ham in a game where he really got injured. He played only 4 games. After playing those 4 games, he got a knee injury that never really required him to come out to put in what we call a surgery. And they gave him just 8 weeks, and he returned. He was with Argentina. Then he returned, and no sooner had he returned, he played only 30 minutes, and then he's really out, injured. That is really ugly of this. It's very, very, very ugly that a player at Man United is really having such injuries. And ever since the season started, Lisandro Martinez is going to have to get 3 injuries, and they're really different injuries. a metatarsal injury, a knee injury, and now a calf injury. What is really happening at the club of Man United? That is the biggest question that everyone would like to really hear from the required people at the club. Answers should be given, because why are we really having all these injuries at the club of Man United? Why are players getting injured like this? Recurring injuries have gone ahead to become recurring injuries. The only players that are not going to have to really get injured are Dalot, Garnacho, Onana, and Bruno Fernandes. But the rest of the players have gone ahead to really get injured, and the injuries are really recurring. Raphael Varane, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Tyrell Malacia, everyone, Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo was just ill. Ever since he returned, has not gone ahead to really get a setback. Anthony, Rashford, Rasmus Højlund, Mason Mount. What's happening at Man United, guys? I'm really pissed. What is really happening at the club of Man United? Because you ask yourself, what has gone wrong with the medical team of Man United? It takes you back to what Casemiro went ahead to let us know about, that they had told him to continue playing, and he said, no, I have to really see my doctor. That went ahead to obviously check out my muscle injuries when I was still in Spain, meaning that there is incompetency at the job, and something has to be really sorted, and Ineos has to be working on this. As we bring on the likes of Wilcox, as we bring on Berada and Ashworth and so on and so forth, the medical department has to be really refurbished. That is it. If it means to sack all of them and get in someone different altogether, we need to do that, because you're not going to really have a better season. And for everyone who is like, Erik ten Hag is really a manager who is not really good for the team. Look at how many injuries this guy is really getting in. Now there is this one new on the block, and it's really very fresh, affecting everyone that is at the club of Man United. So guys, if you're coming out to judge Erik ten Hag, look through the injuries he's really having, and then you'll come out and really judge him, because the judgments you're really giving him are really uncalled for, as the guy is going through what we call a very, very, very bad period, because you can't really have a team to stabilize when you're really having injuries in every department. As we are closing down, obviously, see to it that every player returns. Guess what happened? These two have gone ahead to obviously get out of the club of Man United. And for Lindelof, they've told us it's like a hamstring injury. And remember, he had also just returned. So the problem is we are left with Varane, who is also an injury-prone player, Harry Maguire, Kambuala, and John Evans. Those are the defenders we are left with. So it is going to be really a bumpy season. It's really going to be bumpy to that level that we are not going to really experience what you're supposed to experience at the side of Man United, and injuries have been the biggest contributor. And if I told you are Ineos, you have to find a solution for this. Why are we really getting these injuries? Why are they to and fro, back and forth injuries are really coming in and happening at the club of Man United? For Lindelof, he's not known to be an injury-prone player, but what has gone ahead to happen? People have gone ahead to say that the levels of intensity that Ten Hag has gone ahead to increase at the club of Man United have gone ahead to really get in what we call the injuries. But that means these players are not really fit, because their bodies are not really used to such training sessions. But last season, Lindelof never really got injured like I was going to get injured this season. So I don't know exactly what is happening. We've brought in the former head of medicine and sports at Arsenal. We thought that he was going to help us solve the situation, because Ten Hag was like, Arsenal is not having very many injuries like Man United had last season, and that's why he spearheaded the side of Man United to convince the doctor of Arsenal to come into at Man United. But things have just gone ahead to get from bad to worse. I don't think that even the injuries we had last season are as many as the ones we've gone ahead to get this season. we've gone ahead to get alarming injuries, and something has to be done on this, and we wait to see what the world has to say about this. But what I can tell you is the injuries are really bad and everything is really worsening here onto the United Matters channel, and I'm really worried that we might even lose another one, because for Raphael Varane, however much we've gone ahead to get in some good news that he's really fit for this, the injury scare is not all that serious, and he's going to really make it to the side of London. But you cannot come out and really expect him to play 90 minutes. He might really find himself injured, and we are really in a big trouble as a club of Man United. Then Raphael Varane, the inside United. Raphael Varane is okay after his injury scare against Brentford. That's what we've gone ahead to be told. And him being okay, it's good to him to be okay and be excited. But can he really keep fit? Can he really play the remaining games? You know, against Brentford, he played only 45 and he was taken off. This is the game that he played last season and had a knee injury that kept him out for some good months, though he returned to play for France in the World Cup. That is Raphael Varane for you. So it is really worse, but we have to keep our hands crossed for Raphael Varane to keep himself fit, because if you don't have Lisandro Martinez, then you don't want to miss out onto Raphael Varane. You would want to see to it that you have at least one of those, and the best case scenario is having the two together into the system, and that is Raphael Varane for you and Lisandro Martinez. But unfortunately this season they're not gonna hate to play even like 10 games together. That is gonna hate to affect us as a club of Man United. So we wait for Raphael Varane and see how that is going to happen. But it looks like it was a precaution that was really taken and really went ahead to give us some good positive results into the mix. Now, Raphael Varane spoke to L'Equipe in France on withdrawing from Man United fixtures this season due to concussion symptoms. He said, during a match, I performed a series of headers, and in the days that followed, I felt abnormal fatigue as well as severe eye fatigue. I reported to the staff that I was not fit to play, and they strongly recommended that I don't play. I took a test from a doctor, the results of which were passed on to the staff, and I don't play the following match. But if I hadn't asked to take these tests, I probably would have been lined up. A few days later, to be honest, I felt bad and I didn't play the game because of the migraine. Now, I think those are some of the few games that he has gone ahead to miss out, but I think that's not going to happen more oftenly. He has been having different injuries as a player, as Raphael Varane. He has always gone ahead to find himself in a position of really getting injured on several occasions. Now I've gone ahead to address this situation. I think it's the situation that really happened when you're playing against Man City. You remember those games when he was on the bench and the manager brought on a different player altogether that obviously killed it off. Yet we really had Raphael Varane. We thought that maybe Erik ten Hag had a problem with Raphael Varane, yet Varane really had a very huge problem to obviously answer, and he has finally come out and revealed to us what exactly it was all about. So that is Raphael Varane for you and what he really feels like for his side. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And lastly, while talking to the L'Equipe, he told us he was asked on concussion protocol in football. He says, I know that. Personally, I won't live until 100. I know that I have damaged my body and put myself in danger. By speaking about it, situations can perhaps be better analyzed and take decisions based on risks. So the concussion problems have always gone ahead, obviously, affect very many players. And Raphael Varane is one of those, and he's like, I know the repercussions. I'm not going to live for 100 years. and he knows that is going to damage his body and put himself in danger by heading very many balls. And by the way, for defenders, it's worse, because a defender, if a team brings in very many crosses, a defender can come out and really head like 10 headers, and even in the training sessions, they've been told not to really head a ball every week. I think they've been told that in the training sessions they really have in the due course of the week, only 2 training sessions should be having what we call heading the body. That's why you sort of that there's what we call the tennis ball training. You see that very well when the players are not using their heads and they're using their feet, that is it. So it looks like they're only allowed to head a lot of balls when they're really in the real match. And there is another article I read that Raphael Varane has his son, he plays football, and he tells him not to head the ball. And it's known that a child is not supposed to start heading the ball not until he reaches, is it 15 or 16 years of age. That's how delicate it is for the heads. So tell me your thoughts about Martinez and Lindelof out for weeks in the comment section below. Rock and David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. Ramadan Mubarak to the Muslims and to the Christians. We cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. And I'm out for now. See you when you see me. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 17,000 subscribers. I'm out.